what's up? How's lockdown 3, 4, whichever part of the world you are in? I hope you are staying home and staying safe, unless, of course, you are in the medical services. Today's topic. Well, I was reflecting and I was wondering how I'm able to get the strength to deal with all the situations in life when I have really gone through like a tough time. And I realized that somewhere I believe every dark cloud has a silver lining. That's clue 1 for today's topic. Clue 2. If I were to ask you, how's lockdown treating you? Will you say, oh my god, it's like a war zone? Or will you say, oh, I feel like a free bird? Or will you say, one step at a time? Clue number 3. If I were to ask you, how are you enjoying the work from home experience? If you say, oh my god, it feels like a prison. Or if you say, I'm as free as a bird because I don't have to battle traffic. That's clue number 3. Metaphors. Yes, friends, today the topic that I'm going to talk about from an NLP context is metaphor. You're watching me on Slate with Anita on a Thursday, and today we are going to talk about metaphors a little more. Personally, one of my favorite topics. Okay, there I go. You know what? My friends have pointed it out to me that in many topics I end up saying this is one of my personal favorites. Well, what to do? NLP is a subject like that. It is as deep as an ocean. There goes another clue. So today the topic we are talking about is metaphors. Metaphors is something we all tend to think in, something that is a clue and a key to our unconscious mind. And why I personally find it very fascinating on this subject is because unconscious is what truly gives us our hopes and fears. At an unconscious level, what happens is how we tend to respond to our situations in the external environment. Let me give you certain examples in this particular episode to understand metaphors a little better. And it's so cool. Like Sue gives these examples to explain what metaphors can mean, because metaphor is how you also understand another person's structure of experience. The way I think in metaphors or the way you would think in metaphors and express yourself, both will understand what is the space we are really operating from. Now coming to the examples bit, so there is a statement called, I need to combat his response. So that could be a metaphor for interaction is a battle. Second example is we can overcome objections. How many times we use it in sales, right? Well, we see that as something that needs to be overcome. Example 3, we need to keep our head down. Again, how many times have we not heard that? Could mean we are at the mercy of others, or we need to lie low. Lie low is again a metaphor. We are on track to achieve what you want. How many times have I not been asked by my boss, okay, are you on track? Are you on track to meet this target? Well, that means there is a track. Next example, streaming ahead. It could mean an old form of moving. Another example is will not carry passengers. It can mean that we are either capable of carrying them, or it could also denote I don't want any baggage. Everything in the garden is rosy. And that could mean life is something that can grow. They are blooming. It could be a metaphor for they grow and do well. Like I think the example that comes to my mind again is a recent parent-teacher interaction which one parent recited to me. And that's how the teacher had referred to the students. Yeah, they're all blooming. Which means yes, they probably are doing well and growing. And then business has died down. It could mean that in your head, at an unconscious level, business does have a cycle. In fact, this is very relevant to today's times, because there are some people who I personally know who continue to do phenomenally well even in this lockdown period. That's because somewhere in their unconscious mind, they are not looking at business as something that has an up and a down. So yes, point for reflection, right? Life is a ball. It's again a metaphorical way of saying that life is a played game. Well, with the examples of those metaphors, I hope you understand that when we look at something like something else, then that does tell you a lot about what's really going on with the person. or what is really the thinking pattern, or how is the person really choosing to look at life by the choice of how those metaphors are playing out for him or her. Now, another reason why I really love metaphors is metaphors bypass the conscious mind. Like I was telling you this in the starting of the conversation also. Metaphors is something that bypasses the conscious mind, and this is what Sue writes. Metaphors bypass the conscious mind and its resistance and embrace our embrace our unconscious. Well, it just means that if I have to really change something at a surface level, if there is something that I want to do differently at the surface level, I might want to go back and tap into my unconscious and see if metaphorically I'm representing it in a certain way for myself and while expressing it to others. In fact, I see so much of evidence of metaphors all the time, and it'll be interesting. I encourage and invite you guys also to do the same. Like again, coming to the working from home example, the lockdown example, I remember interesting responses like, "Oh, the project, how's the project going? It's like climbing a huge mountain." You know, that means it's life is hard, or many such interesting responses. I will look forward to hearing from you what are some of those metaphors that you have heard so far, and then it'll be interesting to see what learning have you captured from that. Well, moving on from metaphors, today what else can I do for you? Yeah, one parting thought that I would like to leave you guys with is that metaphors are by which we live our lives, and the shapes our day-to-day behavior. When let's say I think about or I reflect upon how I deal with how I deal with criticism or how I deal with a disagreement. It's because somewhere unconsciously I have this feeling that not every day is a gloomy day, or not every day is a spring day. I realize that it helps me treat a disagreement or a criticism as just a thing for that moment, and it doesn't really occupy my headspace or my mind for a very long duration to come. So yes, metaphors, the key to the unconscious mind. It can help you or it can derail you. How do you want it to play out for you? So keep watching Slate with Anita. Next week I'll be back with another episode which is going to be dedicated on metaphors, and I'm going to share a very interesting conversation. It's not a conversation, a very interesting story that has been narrated to Sue. Mind you, not by Sue, to Sue, but which Sue has written in her book. Excited to know about it? Well, then don't go anywhere, and I'll catch you next Thursday on the 13th episode of Sessions with Sue with Metaphors. Till then, treat every day with so much of clarity, like it's a clean blue sky. On that note, thank you for watching. Bye.